College, from Sonapur College to Bose College, and the paper will be presented by Prasanjit Sinha and Nishan Pangso.
Respected Principal Sir, respected professors of North Guwahati College, respected professors of Beltola College, respected professors of Pragjyotish College, respected professors of Sonapur College, and my dear comrades, good afternoon everyone. I am Prasenjit Singha.
My name is Nishan Pangso.
And the topic of our paper is Emancipation from and Resistance to Patriarchy, a study on Draupadi by Maheshwata Devi. Please allow us to begin. Second slide, please. Maheshwata Devi is one of the foremost literary personalities of Bengali, and for her literary contribution, this is enough that she was a recipient of Sahitya Academy Award and as well as Gyanpith Award. And the translator of the story, that is Gayatri Spivak, she said that Maheshwata Devi is as unusual within the Bengali literary tradition as Foucault or Derrida in the philosophical or political mainstream in France. And as an activist, Maheshwata Devi has spent years crusading for the rights of tribal, and she was awarded Padma Shri for the same. And she was also a recipient of Magsaysay Award. And I would like to take you to the fourth slide. This is Malala Yousafzai, and what she, according to her, means this is a quote from her that I raise up my voice not so that I can shout, but so that those without a voice can be heard. And so the stories of Maheshwata Devi actually gives voice to the tribal communities such as Santals, Lodhas, Mundas, etc. And the objective of the paper is to study the story of Draupadi as an example of emancipation from and resistance to patriarchy.
So, in a nutshell, Draupadi is a story about Draupadi Mejen, a woman who belonged to Santal tribe of West Bengal. With her husband Durna, she murdered Surat Sahu and his son, occupying upper caste wells and tube wells, which was the primary source of water for the village. This brought upon them the fury of the government. Several operations were launched to catch the accused, but the couples were able to escape several times until their skills and luck ran out. Dulna was killed and Draupadi was captured. She was raped by the personals to take out information from her, but they failed as she denied to be a victim.
Next slide, please. The 10th one. The story of Draupadi by Maheshwata Devi is often considered to be a reconstruction or a retelling of Draupadi in Mahabharata, that we all know, and particularly focusing on the episode of the Chilharan, where she was stripped. If I take you there, then you can observe that there Draupadi was actually a victim. That five male, they just staked her, and one guy wanted to strip her, and again a male divine power saved her. This is that she can't be anything on her own. She is like dependent. But on the other hand, if I take you to Draupadi of Maheshwata Devi, a very rebellious girl, a very rebellious lady in the story, she actually denied to become a victim. She never accepted that she is a victim. The way she confronted the Senanayak saying that counter me with her, the condition that she went out from the tent being raped the whole night. Her hands and legs are tied to four poles, and she was raped the whole night. And there are lines from the chapter that are, from the story that are really that needs a real courage to read those lines. And she went through such torture, such a condition, such a situation, because the army, the personnels wanted to take out some information from her, and because she was a lady, they thought that okay, they will just rape her and take out the information and make her a victim. When she will become a victim, she will plead for a rescuer and she will give up the information, but she did not. And this is the difference that this is the main difference that I find in Draupadi of Mahabharata and again in Draupadi of Maheshwata Devi. Taking to the next slide, that is Gayatri Spivak said on the character of Draupadi. Draupadi is what the Draupadi who is written into the patriarchal and authoritative sacred text of male power could not be. This is the thing that what Draupadi in Mahabharata could not be, the Draupadi in Maheshwata Devi's story could be. This is not a story of male power that is written by Maheshwata Devi. That's why Draupadi in Maheshwata Devi's story could actually go across the patriarchal line, that the line that binds them. She could cross. Again, as the topic goes, emancipation from patriarchy. The story from the very beginning. First of all, a point has to be noted that a girl in a tribal society and a girl in a mainstream society has a different level of liberties. A girl in a tribal society, you will find them dancing together, you will find them celebrating together, drinking together, no matter at all. No matter at all. And when you come to the mainstream society, you will find them bounded by this so-called this codes of conduct. They can't drink, and in some families you will find that they can't lift their veil. This is actually against. And even there is a story that when Lakshmana and Hanuman were going in search of Sita, Hanuman found many ornaments of Sita on the way, and he just picked all those up and asked Lakshmana that, do you recognize this? And Lakshman said, yes, I recognize this. But when Hanuman picked up an earring or something of the nose, I'm sorry, I don't remember. And at that moment, Lakshman said, no, I never looked at my Sita's face. Okay, so they use this story. The patriarchal people, they use this kind of stories to say that okay, your veil is not to be removed, your veil is to be there. This is the they kind of say that the shyness, the shame that is used in a patriarchal society, that I will explain later. But in the story, if we see that Draupadi, even being she is doubly marginalized. First, on the caste-based system, she is of lower caste, and again she is a lady. But interestingly, she has the liberty to fight along with her husband. Just like the Mary Wollstonecraft said that a girl has the efficiency. Mary Wollstonecraft believed that a lady has the efficiency to be a partner of her husband, and she portrays it. The character of Draupadi in Maheshwata Devi's story portrays it very well. She fought along with her husband. When her husband died, still she continued to fight. As a tribal girl, she never gave up. As a woman, she never gave up. And if I take to rebel against the commodification of body, then you will find that okay, the army people, they wanted to use her as an object. They wanted to use her as an object. They thought that if they torture that body, that every truth will come out. But she did not give up. Her willpower, her mental strength, just, the army people could not match that level with their torture. And if I take you again to the story, then there is an interesting comment that when she was raped the whole night, on the next day she was to be presented in front of the Senanayak. and one of the officers came up and said that you wear your clothes, and she just torn those apart. I'm not wearing it, and she says a line. I will tell it. I will just use it a bit later. And at that moment, when she has just thrown her dresses away, one of those officers said, "Oh, she has gone crazy." The word "crazy" is very much relevant in this current society, where a girl, if she wants to do, not only girl, even man, if he or she wants to do something unconventional, he or she is considered to be gone crazy. He or she is not at all in a state, the good state of mind. And if I take to the next slide, resistance to patriarchy. She was raped again and again. I'm saying, and I will just read out some lines. Draupadi is raped and humiliated and degraded into a mere non-entity by the so-called masters of the society. But the woman, the so-called subaltern, can ultimately resist and speak when pushed to the ultimate margin. She refused to be a victim. She defied the shame of being raped. And when the officers who violated her body insisted her to cover up once she is done with, intransigently, Draupadi ripped off her clothes. She said to the Senanayak that you can strip me, but how can you clothe me again? To the next slide I'll take you. Shame as a tool. Shame as a tool of patriarchal society. This is a very interesting tool. This is a very interesting tool that you are a girl, you are not supposed to go out with other guys because you are like Lakshmi in our house. You are not supposed to go out that way. And I will take you to the next slide. This is an article published in The Hindu on January 19th, 2013. It reads, "Women are tag marked as shameless transgressors for marrying without the consent of family, seeking divorce, asking for share in ancestral property, or refusing to cover hair, face, or body. Violence against women surges whenever the patriarchal status quo or the traditional mode is challenged." So this lines actually confirms that shame is a tool in patriarchal society that is used to control the activities, to have a check on the activities of women folk. Taking you to the next slide. Next one, please. I hope many of you know about this protest. I came to know about this protest from Dr. Nizara Hazarika ma'am. This is a protest by the mothers in Manipur. What happened actually? One second. A woman called Manorama was actually picked up and by armed forces. Okay, there the army is written, but this is not army actually. It is Assam Rifle soldiers. In many of the parts, people are not actually aware of the different paramilitary or the divisions in armed forces, and they just address them all together collectively as army. So this is why army is written. It is actually Assam Rifles. So this is on the account of a BBC interview, on an interview taken by BBC. There was a law, that is AFSPA, Assam Armed Forces Special Power Act. According to that, an armed personnel, a personnel of armed officer, can just arrest you or can kill you. He doesn't need a warrant. He doesn't need to ask anyone to, can I do it? No, because they are fighting insurgency. And in that cover, what they are doing, I will tell you that the incident occurred on 11 July 2004. A lady called Manorama, 32 years old, she was picked up from her house, and after a few hours she was found, and her body told the story. Her figure, the dead body could tell the story that she was raped, and there were bullet holes in her body. Means after being physically raped, and then she was killed. So 12 brave women, they decided to protest against it. They decided to protest against it in a like very unusual way. The venue of the protest was Kangla Fort, The Kangla Fort was then the base of Assam Rifles in Manipur. And talking about them, they were mothers, they were housewives, and they were putting their life at risk as well. And one of the ladies, Leshram Gyaneshwari, she said, and I quote, "We were crying even before we left. We are women, all we have is our honor, and Manipur is a traditional society. We don't show our bodies, we are uncomfortable even showing our ankles." And they decided to strip off their whole body, they were just naked in front of everyone. This protest, after this they protested and they wanted to enter the fort, and two sentries, the armed sentries, they just stopped them and pointed their gun. I will read out another quote. "We dared them to shoot us, but they lowered their gun." And one of them said, "I think they were ashamed. Shame was a tool to control women folk. Now it is heavy on the men only." Isn't it? So, again, here is the twist. In Draupadi by Maheshwata Devi, the Senanayak could say that, okay, rape her again. Or the man sentries in this incident could just shoot them. Because they had the power. But they could not. Why? Because they are also a victim of patriarchal society. They were raised. They never saw something like this. They never expected something like this to happen. Every man and woman in patriarchal society, from their childhood, they are being oriented with the line that man should not cry and women are supposed to be shy. And that's why they were like spellbound. They could not do anything. They just kept on looking at them and they just cried and could do nothing. Now I hand over to Mission Pancho.
To conclude, Maheshwata Devi's Draupadi raises her voice against extreme torture and atrocities inflicted on the tribals. In a metaphorical sense, she has been relegated to the position of other marginalized community. Draupadi constructed a language of her own by rejecting the binary structure of patriarchal discourse of the political, social, and ideological forces of the society.
Thank you, everyone.
We were sitting here spellbound. We were whispering. We were wondering what Sonapur College does, always does. Prasanjit, I missed your name. I whispered and I got your name. Mission, thank you. I mean, how do I say? The references, the critical insights, it was all there. And what Mission did is, Mission, his team, his teachers, they took us to they took us to real instances, and sitting here, I was wondering, will this boy at some point of time in the future become a leader, a person inspiring the society? Will he stand somewhere in the future and guide a generation? He was so much into it. When he narrated the incidents, I mean, you carried us to the past and to the future, where I can see the students of Sonapur College. Sir, ma'am, your students, they will be guiding stars in the society. We are really, really spellbound, and that is why, sir, and the English department here, I like to state that we are very happy signing the MOU, and I stand here not just as a partner, we actually are very lucky to get hand holding from you. Thank you so much, Sonapur College. Teachers of English Department, Prasenjit, Mission, Austin. Thank you.
Thank you, Malushiba, and I will.
Malushiba was invited. No, so he presented so well, right from the critical insight, the references that he has given, it was excellent. So means you all for this presentation, actually you all need a big applause from the audience. I take my students and the students from Beltola College, I think they will be benefited from this type of presentation. Actually, what they need to do, all the groundwork, all the latest references, right from the articles from Hindu, means the presentation that you had done here, a research scholar who are doing research and guy on the presentation was just like that. Means everyone we expect this type of presentation. No doubt the other students they have done good, but there is means each and every from all perspective he has touched it, right from subaltern patriarchy, then resistance, your shame as a tool, means all the in order to dominate. No, the patriarchy uses such type of tools. So he has, they have placed it so well, and it was, and there was so clarity in the paper, clarity in the presentation. All the people sitting here means they are so absorbed, no? So they are very attentive. I have observed in that way also. No one was talking, everyone was listening. The way, and though you are a 5th sem student, no, you have presented just like a teacher or a faculty is going to present or teaching the class, isn't it? Huh? So a big congratulations to the faculties of Sonapur College, and a big congratulations to both of you. You all both of you all have done a very good job.
Sorry.
No, just one addition. When you were talking about, at the end, when you were talking about, how she was resisting, and you were talking about the mothers, you were talking about all those things. You should have added the last quotation. Where the Senanayak was terrified. He was terribly terrified, or something like that. So that is, yeah, you have to add that line. Because I didn't know that you didn't add. Anyway, that is one addition you have to make. Make. And congratulations, both of you have done a great job, and we are proud of you. And thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Now I would like to welcome the last presenter.